From center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass., this is Lexington Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Tonight, it's the Blue Sox with a record of 12-5-1, hosting the Somerville Royals with a record of 8-11. Good evening, everybody. I'm Sam Feely, ready to bring you the play-by-play story. I hope to be joined by Rob DeFranco later on. The Blue Sox have a magic number right now of 3 to clinch a playoff berth, as they are 12-5-1 in 7th place as 13 losses. And the Blue Sox hoping to get a win with the ICL ERA leader, Drew Leanhouse, on the mound tonight. Drew with a .44 ERA in 16 innings of work. And Leanhouse, one of his best starts in his Blue Sox career came against the Royals last summer in an elimination game in the ICL playoffs through a no-hitter at Trum Field to keep the Blue Sox alive, and they would eventually, of course, go on to win the ICL championship. The Royals, 8-11, in a bit of a dogfight for the 5 and 6 seed between themselves, Reading and Melrose. The Royals have played the fewest games of those 3 teams. They have more games in hand and hope to pull off the upset here on the road and gain some traction in that playoff race. So the starting lineups, first for the visiting Somerville Royals, in their traditional navy blue jerseys with gold letters and numbers and gray pants. Jake Sintol is going to lead it off at center field, at second base, followed by Sean Harrington behind the plate. John Collette is at first. Wagner Gomez, the Blue Sox killer, is at third base. Luke Ronke is in right. Adam Johnson is at short. James McConville, the player manager, is the DH. Greg Speliotis is the left fielder, and rounding out the lineup in center field is Nick Valdario. On the mound for the Royals, and we'll give it to you in just a second as the Blue Sox take the field right now. And the starting pitcher for the Somerville Royals is Mike Masuli. And Masuli, this season, tonight is making his 4th appearance. No decisions, a 3.11 ERA in 9 innings of work. He's allowed 6 hits, 4 earned runs, walked 8, and struck out 7. Masuli has had 1 appearance against the Blue Sox this season. That was on June 8th in that loss. He, however, threw 2 innings of scoreless, hitless ball with 2 walks. Look who it is, Rob DeFranco. Your chair is right over there, good sir. And we'll bring Rob into the broadcast in just a second. But first, the starting lineup for the Lexington Blue Sox in the alternate white jerseys with the navy blue caps. Raimundo Gomez is going to lead off in right field. He'll be taken over after 1 pitch by Jeff Costello. Kevin Scanlon bats second in left field. He is going to be replaced by Jeff Figers after 1 pitch. Ross Curley is at short. Dan Graham is the DH. Alex Wojcik is at first. Jake Wilsey is at second. Taylor Ferguson is behind the plate. Justin Silvestro is at third. And John Puttress rounds out the lineup behind the plate, catching his Northeastern teammate and roommate, Drew Leanhouse, who is, as I mentioned, is the ICL league leader in ERA at .44 in 16 innings of work. As we're just about ready to get set for baseball, we'll bring in Drew, Rob in just a second, but Drew 2-0, .44 ERA in 16 innings of work, allowed 11 hits, 3 runs, only 1 of which was earned, walked 5, and struck out 18. Well, the Blue Sox, Rob, definitely have to feel good, so close to another playoff berth, and they have, their new ace, Drew Leanhouse, on the mound. As the first pitch is in there for a strike at 8:07.
No, absolutely, Sam. As we saw last year from Mr. Leanhouse, just some incredible baseball pitching during the playoffs. As Raimundo, Big Papi Gomez takes his pitch and then heads off the field. But yeah, Drew, he threw, I think, 12 innings of no-hit baseball consecutively last year. Heavily relied on him, consistency, and obviously coming off pro ball, he was sparkling, to say the least.
Drew, as I've mentioned before, is a teammate of Chris Shaw and with the Richmond Flying Squirrels a couple of years ago, as that drops in there for strike 2, 0-2.
Big stretch of games ahead for the Blue Sox.
Oh, yeah.
Sunday through Friday.
Sunday through Friday. They're playing every night. This is going to be a tough test as we get ready for the playoffs. A comebacker right to Leanhouse. He will underhand to Wojcik for out number 1.
As a pitcher, probably the funnest play right there.
Just a soft comebacker right back to...
it's an out.
You want to emulate Keith Folk in the 2004 World Series.
Absolutely.
Although that out had much less consequence, of course. Here's Sean Harrington, the catcher.
Seems like Somerville's catching some heat, if I do recall. Won a few games as of late.
Yeah, they are in the midst of a dogfight for one of the last two playoffs. He's the pitch to Harrington was a ball. Harrington banked 250 with 4 RBIs. He skies this one to the right, fouling out of play, and that evens the count at 1. To catch you up on Santolo's numbers, entering that at bat, one of Somerville's most consistent players over the past 2 years, 333. 3 homers and 6 RBIs. He definitely takes advantage of that short porch at Trump Field. This is grounded to second. Wilsey has it, throws on to Wojtek, and quickly 2 are down here in the top of the first. Although, of course, the Blue Sox took good advantage of that short porch back on June 8th at Trum. 3 home run game that the Blue Sox had.
Yeah, that was fun to watch.
Oh, yeah. Although it's been a long time since we've had someone style and profile watch their home run like Eduardo did that
Mr.
game.
Soto, yeah.
Oh,
we
my
haven't
God.
seen him in a while, huh?
No, well, this isn't the only team he plays for. Remember?
Oh, really?
Yeah, like it's not uncommon for players to play for multiple teams and one team in a bunch of different leagues. As the first pitch to John Collette is a called strike. Second pitch is swung on, missed, 0-2.
Looked like a changeup to me there.
Yeah. Drew Brzezowski plays for the Somerville Senators in the MSBL 28+ league.
Does he really?
Yeah. Deep to center, but it's going to stay in the park. Camping under it is Ferguson. He makes the catch. And on 9 pitches, it's a 1-2-3 inning for Drew Leanhouse. After half an inning, Royals nothing, Blue Sox coming up. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. Masuli is ready, and we are ready for the bottom of the first as Jeff Costello will lead things off. So, like I said, Masuli, last time he faced the Blue Sox was part of that big blowout win by the Blue Sox, but he pitched 2 innings of scoreless, hitless ball. Although that was when basically the bench had been emptied by that point. Now he's got to face the starters. So, and you got the lefty Masuli against the righty Costello. To lead things off, Costello will take up and away ball 1. Costello obviously
having a good year.
Oh yeah, tell me about it.
Jeff Costello, ICL Player of the Year.
Could he win Rookie of the Year and MVP in the same year? As this is skied into center field, camping under it is Valdario. Makes the catch.
Young kid, I think he's 17 years old. Big future ahead of him. Obviously, very mature in the way he plays. Playing in men's league as a high school graduate. That says a lot to me.
Not even a high school graduate. Only 17. I mean, Sal Frelick, he's doing the same thing. He's 17. Yeah. He hit a big home run on Sunday against Arlington. So that will drop Costello's average from its minuscule 463 position with 11 RBIs. First pitch to Jeff Vigers is outside for ball 1. Lefty against lefty, and Vigsy grounds this one to the first baseman Collette, and quickly 2 are down.
Good pitch there. It looked like a little slider in the outside part. Got Vigors to bite and roll over, and that'll be it for his at-bat.
So let's see if Ross can make Masuli work.
Another guy who's been swinging the bat really well. Ross, I feel like every day something's dropping in for extra bases for him the last 4 or 5 at-bats I've seen. He
started out the season uncharacteristically slow. He's got his average up to 294, and he takes down and away ball 1. Doing that despite only drawing 3 walks. But he has been hit by 4 pitches. So that'll definitely up the on-base percentage. Up and away, 2-0. Ross, 294, 8 RBIs, which is third on the team, behind Wojtik and Costello. Ross takes low, 3-0. Ross has long been one of the best hitters in the ICL, and you know when you see him start as slow as he did, you wonder is he tailing off? He's only my age. He's 28, 29, but
still looking like an athlete. He dresses well. He plays well.
Absolutely,
great shortstop.
And he grinds out a 4-pitch walk like that. Shows he hasn't lost a step at all.
Nope.
Speaking of not losing a step at all, here's Stan Graham.
The warhorse, we call him.
The OWH.
Yep. Just talk about approach. This guy knows the game inside and out. Lowell High School coach and Massachusetts Coach of the Year. So he's always watching pitchers in the bullpen, watch their rhythm, how they look over, getting, different approaches from different pitchers and always offering insight to his teammates. So a coach of the players, per se.
1-0 to Grammer's Bank, 308 with 2 RBIs. He's 2 for 2 in stolen bases. He laces this one down the right field line and fouled to even the count at 1.
A little ahead of that one. Looked like a hang change up there or something.
I know I can't time those in MLB The Show. Oh, man. It looks so good. Oh, my God. Fastball right down the middle, and then you pull it foul. And Ross runs. Got a bit of a running lead. The throw down to second. Not even close.
Great pitch to go on. You see that slider away. Kind of a loopy pitch. Had it all the way.
Ross was moving from basically the point where Masuli was coming set. He didn't really set to take a lead. He was just an almost running lead.
Looks like he went on first move there.
Got a huge lead at second, almost halfway to third, and that's fouled off to even the count at 2. So an RBI chance here for the veteran Graham.
I think Danny wanted that one back. That one looked pretty juicy down the plate.
Yeah, got under it and was late. And he comes up empty, and an off-speed pitch for strike 3. So no runs, no hits, no errors, 1 man left. After 1 complete, Blue Sox nothing, Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Well, of course, Drew Lienhout's a fast worker, like his fellow ace Matt Karras. What enables a pitcher like Matt or Drew to warm up and warm up so quickly and work so quickly? Is there conditioning? Is it their mindset? How are they able to do that?
Yeah, well, I look at both of them as very different pitchers. Actually, I think that Karras is more of a grab it and go guy, and I think that Lienhout's just with his experience and his prowess, he's just dominant in this league. So,
but they warm up so quickly.
Oh, you're talking about their warm up routines.
Yeah, and Lienhout's doesn't work as fast as Karras but he still works relatively quickly. Certainly, as Gomez fouls this one onto Worthen Road, we have an official broadcast. 0-1. Gomez has historically, I use the term loosely as he's only in his second year with the team, but has been very good in his time against the Blue Sox as he swings and misses at a breaking ball. It's 0-2. Gomez batting .348 with 1 homer and 11 RBIs, and that RBI total is second on the team to Nick Valdario, that youngster you mentioned, as that's inside, just missed 1 and 2. And Valdario leads the team in RBIs. He's batting 9th.
Wow.
This
Don't
is,
see that too often.
you got on top of that one, grounds it to short, Curley onto Wojtek, 1 down.
Well, back to your question, I think that, needless to say, summer helps a lot. Myself coming from the winter ball area, playing college ball in Maine, it definitely takes a little bit longer. But for these guys, I mean, you're playing all summer. Karras gets to coach and play pretty much as he, he's throwing to his guys. His arm's in pretty good condition, so it's pretty easy to get loose around here, I think, actually.
Fouled straight back into the screen by Luke Ronke for strike 1. Ronke batting .263, 1 homer and 6 RBIs. This is a Somerville team that hits very well. When they were the Somerville Thunder for 1 year, this is topped back to the pitcher, Lienhoutz on to first, 2 down.
Great play there by Lienhoutz. Always a tough play jumping off that side for a lefty. Makes the turn, gets his feet set, and hums it over there. Beats the pretty speedy runner in Ronke.
Somerville is a team that can slug it with the best of them. They have a team batting average of .284 and have the second most home runs in the league as a team with 10 behind Watertown's 11. But the pitching, that's the only issue. They are 5th in the league in ERA at 3.87. Remember, that's out of 7 innings.
Right.
As it is 1-0 to Adam Johnson, the shortstop. Upstairs 2-0, and do you think Drew is thinking, well, if Somerville's swinging so early in the count, waste a couple early in the count?
I don't think so. I think that sometimes when he does miss, he does tend to miss upwards. So
that of course can be dangerous if you're
anybody but Drew Lienhoutz.
Yeah, but if you're missing above the neck, then I guess, but don't want to miss up in the zone. Ooh.
A little late break there on inside two-seam or changeup of sort.
Jackknife Johnson a bit.
Yeah.
Johnson batting .310 this season as he chops that one towards the left field bleachers to keep the count at 2-2. Drew winds and delivers. Laced down the left field line. Chasing is Vigsy, and he watches it go foul. Still 2-2. So
I think it's full, Sam, no?
Oh, no. Is it 2-2? I thought it was 3-2. Is it 3-2 or 2-2?
It says full there.
Let's count, Blue.
Okay, so it is 3-2. My bad. All right.
Confirms full count here for Lienhoutz, the payoff pitch.
Popped up. Ross calling for it now. It's into right center. And it'll be caught by the second baseman, Wilsey, for the out. That retires the side. So Drew had to work a little bit for that out, but he gets another 1-2-3 inning. And after 1.5, it is still the Blue Sox nothing and the Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. And be sure to subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Bottom of the second, 5-6-7 due up for the Blue Sox. Alex Wojtek, Jake Wilsey, and Taylor Ferguson. Wojtek entering play second on the team in RBIs with 10, 2 home runs, 286 batting average. Masuli threw 13 pitches in the first inning, only 5 for strikes. Check swing, they will appeal, and he did not go, says the infield umpire, so it's ball 1. Wojtek came very close to going around there, though.
I don't know. Jumps all over that one, fouled off, way ahead.
Don't you
getting his hands inside the baseball?
Yeah, but don't you hate it when you crank a ball that deep, but you also pull it well foul?
Well, he's on it.
1-1 the count to Wojtek, and the pitch from Masuli is on the outside corner, 1-2. Skied into left center.
Trouble. Losing
Trouble, and it drops in front of the left fielder, Speliotis, and holding it first is Wojtek with a single.
So going back to what you were saying about the Somerville Thunder, you want to fill me in on that?
Yeah, so the Somerville Thunder, so after the Mooney Dental Tanners folded after the 2014 season, the Somerville Thunder took their place. It was a franchise owned by Bill Smeglin. They played one season, then James McConville took over the franchise. They became the Somerville Royals. That's low to Wilsey for ball 1. And the Mooney Dental Tanners, between 2006 and 2014, they made the playoffs once.
Really?
And that year was 2009, when there were only 6 teams in the league and everybody made the playoffs.
Ooh. Not a great track record for the Tanners.
Swing and a miss. Pitch gets away from Harrington, and it'll be a wild pitch that allows Wojtek to advance. 1-1, though, is a good slider to get Wilsey to swing and miss, but tough break there for Harrington. So the Blue Sox again have a runner in scoring position, but and the Somerville Thunder weren't much better than the Mooney Dental Tanners, but the Royals made the playoffs last year. And they're
a pretty good run for our money too.
Yeah, actually got a game against us in the first round, and then of course Drew happened.
Yep.
So they are a much better team in this slot than the Somerville Thunder and the Mooney Dental Tanners. James McConville's done a good job.
James McConville, I believe, is a graduate of St. John's Prep.
Down the left field line, chasing. It's going to go all the way to the wall. That's going to score Wojtek easily. Wilsey is on his way to second, and he will just walk into there with a double. It's 1-0. What a fine Wilsey has been, huh?
Absolutely. Kind of a quiet personality, but he just gets the job done. He had a home run against Melrose earlier this week.
Had a home run against Arlington, too. He actually hit... It wasn't so much home runs in back-to-back games. It wasn't even home runs in back-to-back at-bats. It was home runs in back-to-back pitches.
Really?
Yeah. Here's Taylor. He takes ball 1.
Wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, he hit the home run on the last pitch he saw Sunday against Arlington, and then hit the home run against Melrose on the first pitch he saw then.
That's pretty cool.
Down low, gets away from Harrington again. And a great read, like you said, Rob, by Wilsey to get up to third on the second wild pitch of the inning. So now the infield will come in.
Yeah, Wilsey, like I was saying, kind of a quiet personality, just gets the job done.
Yeah. Has had big games against LSU. Like I've mentioned before, he's nicknamed the Tiger Killer by his teammates at Tulane. Fouled off, and it's 2-1. Got underneath.
Missed there by Ferg. That was a sweet pitch to hit.
Yeah, when you've thrown 2 wild pitches in the dirt this inning, you feel like you have to compensate and get the ball up, and then against a good hitter like Ferg, can result in potentially dangerous situation. Comes after that one and fouls it off. 2-2. Ferg batting .282 with 2 homers and 4 RBIs.
Where was his other home run besides Melrose?
That was part of the Somerville game.
Oh, right.
The Somerville game. That's just inside with, I think it was a two-seamer. Slider. All right, and it's a full count. Ferg actually picked up his first RBI on against Melrose in over a month. He had his last RBI before that was on June 15th. And he smokes this one deep to left center field.
Wow.
Back goes Valdario. It is gone!
Wow. That ball just kept going.
Ferguson knew it from the moment he hit it. He pitched the bat away. Taylor Ferguson with his second home run in as many games. RBIs 5 and 6, and just like that, it's 3-0 Blue Sox.
You got a hold of that one, Sammy.
That's one of the deepest home runs I've seen in this ballpark.
That ball was on a line, too.
Like, the only home run I've seen that may have been hit farther was one of Julian's last year, and that went out to the right center field bleachers.
Wow.
3-2 pitch, too. This is the Blue Sox first home run of the season at home, as that is inside for ball one to Justin Silvestro. So, after a disappointing start in the bottom of the first 3 men have reached, first 3 men have scored here in the second.
Love to see it early and often offense.
As
a little flare, could be trouble.
Camping under it, however, is Spiliotis, and he makes the catch. One down, that'll bring up John Puttress. Of course, John and Drew go way back. They played together and were roommates together at Northeastern. Already action in the Somerville bullpen. As that is on the outside corner for strike one. Putty takes low, ball one. Putty batting 150 with 3 RBIs, 3 for 20 on the season. Grounds this one past the third baseman, Gomez down the left field line. Cutting it off quickly, however, is Spiliotis, so Putty will be held to a single. But the Blue Sox have another base runner. Runner on first, 1 out, and the lineup turns over for the leading RBI man, Jeff Costello.
Good piece of hitting there by Putty. Soft inside fastball, got his hands around, roped it down the third base line out of reach of the third baseman, Gomez. And he was thinking 2 out of the box, but...
Good play by Spiliotis to cut it off.
Absolutely.
Costello flew out to center to lead off the bottom of the first. The first pitch to him is low, and a good block there by Harrington, preventing what would have been the third wild pitch of the inning. Yeah, that's the thing. It feels like Masuli's missing low, then he overcompensates over the plate.
He is around the plate, though, for the most part.
This is into left center field, and that is going to get down for a base hit. Valdario gets past Valdario. On his way around third is Puttress. Costello is on his way to third, and he will score. And Puttress will score. It's 4-0.
Another triple added onto the stats for Jeff Costello. He can run around those bases like anybody in this league.
Costello picking up his 4th triple of the season. And that's going to bring James McConville out to the mound. I don't know, is this going to be an early hook for Masuli?
They've had action in their pen for pretty much the whole time this inning, so I think he's going to leave him in. But
yeah, I mean, like, it's only the second inning, and it's only 4 runs. But like, if he, I think a lot is going to be determined by this at bat with Vigsy.
It also depends on Somerville's bullpen too.
Yeah, they don't have a very deep bench here tonight.
No, they do not.
No.
So.
And
Tough getting guys on Friday night sometimes, people traveling and stuff.
Yeah. I mean, there's also lefty against lefty, so you have the advantage. And Vigers is 0 for 1 with a ground out to first. He fouls this one over the screen and out of play for strike one. So Costello picks up his team-leading 12th RBI, again from the leadoff spot. And his 4th triple.
4 triples in how many games?
4 triples in now 17 games.
Jeez.
It's in there for strike 0-2.
Still only one out here in the bottom half of the second inning, so more work to be done for us Blue Sox.
Can never have too many runs. An
Ooh, right at us.
excuse me swing, and it fouled straight back into the screen. I've learned not to flinch at those. So Costello, 4 triples, and that doesn't even put him in the league by himself. He now ties Wakefield's Mark Weber, as that's grounded up the middle and through for a base hit. Vigsy picks up the RBI single. Costello scores 5-0.
5-0.
And that is going to be it for Masuli, as here comes James McConville again. He couldn't get the lefty Vigers. And that is a quick night for Mike Masuli. And we were talking about, he had 2 scoreless innings against the Blue Sox, but that was late in the game when the bench had been emptied for the Blue Sox, and against the starters, not the same success. So we have a pitching change coming to you from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. Blue Sox 5, Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. All right, we have a new pitcher for the Somerville Royals. Didn't catch that, actually. Number 19 on your Somerville program, and that is... we'll find out in a minute, but here is Ross Curley, the 8th man to bat in the inning with 1 out, and the pitch is taken for strike 1 with a new pitcher.
Why lefty for the Royals.
The new pitcher is Steve Chamberlain, making his 5th appearance of the season. And the pitch to Ross. Swing and a miss. 0-2. Ross drew a walk on 4 pitches his first time up. Costello's 4th triple, by the way, is that is popped up on into shallow right, and making the catch is the second baseman Santolo for out number 2. Costello's 4th triple leaves him 1 shy of both the team and ICL record since 2006. And the team record of 5 is held by Mike Hart in his explosive 2015 campaign. Video game numbers, as I've always said.
I wasn't around for that then, but...
You weren't here in 2015? I thought you were.
I was not.
Oh, okay. Well, Dan Graham gets hit by the first pitch he sees, and it'll be first and second for Alex Wojcik. So, Bruce and I have had this discussion, Rob. How many batters do you think it takes to bat around, 9 or 10?
I think the definition of batting around is when the guy who led off the inning gets to hit again.
Okay.
That's that's what I think.
Which
Why?
is what Vin Scully says, but Stats Inc. says it takes 9 to bat around. Yep.
MLB says 9 also.
Really?
So we still have a discussion.
The debates that will go on forever. Like I said, it's like it's like the Tootsie Pop test of baseball. That's
What came first, the chicken or the egg type?
right. Ball 1-1 to Wojtek, who singled to lead off this inning and then came around to score.
We should set up a survey question on the ICL website and get people to...
And then that'll be the ICL's official definition.
We'll see what...
Down low, 2-1. If you're listening, and you want to add a comment in the YouTube comments or tweet me at LSP37, what do you think? How many batters does it take to bat around? 9 or 10? Upstairs, 3-1 to Wojtek.
Well, I just think, when you use the word bat around, you're going around the full lineup. So you can't take the turn unless you see the other side.
True.
You know what I mean?
Outside, ball 4, and the bases are loaded. I'll bring up Jake Wilsey, who stroked a RBI double his first time up.
Little trouble here for Chamberlain as he hits Danny Graham and issues a quick walk to Alex Wojtek. So
yeah, and it's funny because he started his appearance so well, getting Ross to ground out on 3 pitches, pop out on 3 pitches rather. So let's see if Wilsey can punish him. Not there, but it's outside for ball 1. Started this game with Raimundo Gomez in right field for 1 pitch. And were you there on Monday night when Raimundo did that 1-5-3 double play? Yeah, you were there on Monday night.
I was there.
Yeah, Raimundo.
I was throwing though. I didn't see him turn it.
Yeah, that was in the that was in the 7th when there was runners on first and second, and it was a comebacker to Raimundo, and he threw to third, and then.
Oh, he did throw to third.
Yeah.
I thought it was a grounder to third.
No, it was a comebacker to Raimundo. 2-0 to Wilsey as Harrington and Gomez go in to have a word with Chamberlain. Outside, 3-0. You got the green light here, or you take? What do you think?
I'd say green light. You're up 5-0. Swing away, pal.
3-0. He took ball 4. In comes Vigers from third, and it is 6-0. Another RBI for Wilsey is second of the game. So after getting Ross to ground out on an 0-2 count, it's been 9 balls and 1 strike by Chamberlain, and now ball 1 to Ferguson, who had that home run, which doesn't feel like it was that long ago.
No, it doesn't. It really doesn't.
Like usually when you get to this part of like a team batting around, it usually feels a lot longer.
A lot of quick base hits.
Upstairs, 2-0. Biggest. This marks the biggest second inning of the season for the Blue Sox with 6, and they're looking for more. Outside, 3-0. Their season high for runs in an inning is 7.
Quickly turning into a nightmare here for
Mr.
Chamberlain
and for James McConville,
manager of the Somerville Royals.
Yeah. And the DH, the 3-0. That's probably smart. Take all the way there.
Absolutely.
3-1. Prove to him you can throw a strike. 6-0. 12th man to bat in the inning is Ferguson. Up and away, and another bases loaded walk. In comes Graham. Ferguson with his 3rd RBI of the inning. And it is 7-0, so there is the tie for a season high for runs in an inning. After a ground out, a hit batsman, and 3 walks. And now there's action again in the Royals bullpen. Here's Justin Silvestro, who flew out to left for the first out of this inning, and he takes strike 1. So that closes the book on Masuli, as that's taken for strike 2, 0-2. Masuli, 1 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 7 runs, 1 walk, 1 strikeout, 2 wild pitches, 39 pitches, 21 for strikes. Needless to say, he is on the hook. Sky down the right field line, chasing is Ronke. He makes the catch, and the side is mercifully retired, but the Blue Sox send 13 men to the plate. 7 of them score after 2 complete. Blue Sox 7, Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Sunday afternoon at 3:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox travel to Walsh Field in Wakefield to take on the Wakefield Merchants. Watch or listen live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on YouTube. Here we go to the top of the third, and how would you like to beat James McConville? After that rough inning, he gets to lead off.
I think he's the only manager player in the league.
Joe Chiodo occasionally pitches for the Watertown Reds as McConville fouls that one off for strike 1.
The other day in our game against Arlington, and Dave Elligood is
Dave Elligood, Wakefield plays. 0-1 to McConville, and the pitch down and in, 1-1.
I stand corrected.
So what's a pitcher's mindset, Rob, when you get a big lead like this?
Yeah, you know, that's a good question. I think it's different for everybody.
Popped up.
I think that, you know, pitcher's mindset with the 7-run lead, you really, definitely, you don't really, for me personally, you try not to think about it, and you just pitch like you always would. But it's also one of those things where you just focus on throwing strikes. Really not too much of a mental change, but I think just bump up the fastballs, kind of less off speed, try not to be too cute for the hitters, and just try and let them miss their barrels and let the defense play the defense behind you. So.
And it's always interesting when you have a 7-run lead, especially early in the game, as that's in there for strike 1 to Greg Spiliotis. If you're a manager like Rick DeAngelis, obviously he's been afforded a lot of these situations in his career, and like you got to find the right time to like when you got to make your substitutions and who you want to leave in among your regulars, because as that's strike 2 to Spiliotis 0-2. You know. You can never take an opponent for granted. I mean,
no, absolutely
not. Like, what if somehow they start stringing hits together and you've taken out 7 of your 9 starters, and like obviously the Blue Sox are the envy of the league in terms of team depth, but it's baseball. You'll always see something you've never seen before. This is ground to the right side, diving stop by Wilsey on the first.
Wow, I thought he caught it at first, easily picked up. Played over. That was a great play by Wilsey. Makes it look easy over there at second base.
Wilsey, have a game. He's already got a double, 2 RBIs, a run scored. Now he makes a fantastic play at second. And here's Nick Valdario, the 17-year-old who, as we mentioned, team leader in RBIs.
Yeah, well, it's also one of those things with Mr. DeAngelis.
That's low for ball one.
That when you get to this point in the season, as he did to begin this game, putting Raymundo in right field and I forget who else was.
Scanlon. Yeah.
Yeah, you gotta get your guys your 5 appearances before a certain date to be eligible for the playoffs. So you got to take that into account as a manager as well. So.
Yep. So if you have other pitchers here tonight, like even if, like.
I think Blout needs some time.
Blout needs some time. Do you have 5 appearances?
I do not.
Okay. So we may have to take you off the headset later. Who knows?
Yeah. I told Coach that earlier. I wished him happy birthday. And I said, hey, just because I'm on the cast with Sam doesn't mean I can't pitch.
2-1 the count to Valdario. As that catches the top of the strike zone with the 2-seamer, 2-2. Do you find calls start to go more your way or more in one direction or another in a game like this? It's 7-0.
You're also talking the wrong guy. I'm more of a closer, so
right.
I'm not in these types of situations
True,
as much as others. But
well, I think that looked more like a strike than the last pitch, but that was called a ball, so it's a full count now to Valdario.
But I think the ump wants to get home. That's just kind of how it is, no matter what the ump is.
Grounded to short. Curley scoops it up, fires to first, and gets the speedy Valdario for the out that retires the side. So 9 up, 9 down for Drew, and after 2.5, it is still the Blue Sox 7 and the Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email Sam at localsportsproductions.com for more information. John Puttress, Jeff Costello, and Jeff Figers due up here in the bottom half of the third inning against Steve Chamberlain, who is making his second appearance of the season. And in that first appearance against Reading on June 20th, 2 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 4 walks, and no strikeouts. As that's on the outside corner for strike 1 to Putty, who singled and scored last inning. So Chamberlain has now issued 7 walks in 3 1/3 innings of work this season. This is a broken back grounder to Gomez. Fires on to first. Pulls the first baseman Collette off the bag, but he tags Putty for out number 1.
Good play there by Gomez over to his left side. I believe he was also a ex-minor league player, I think, in the Reds organization, from what I learned from. He's actually Kelvin Guzman's cousin.
Oh, really?
If I remember correctly.
Nice. So here's Jeff Costello up to bat for the third time, 1 for 2 with a RBI triple, his 4th triple of the season, as that's on the outside, misses outside rather, for ball 1. Off-speed pitch misses upstairs, 2-0. Outside, 3-0. Costello has now moved into sole possession of third place in the league leaders in runs with his 17th run. He's still behind Bobby Lozano of Wakefield with 28. as it's now 3-1.
28. I'm sorry. Runs scored.
28 runs scored for
Wow.
Bobby Lozano.
I used
He's
to play
having
against him in high school. He was a Peabody guy. Very good hitter. Merrimack College graduate. Hustler.
Swing and a miss. Strike 2 to Costello. And Kyle Levine is in second place with 22 runs. But Costello now in third with 17. He reaches for that one and fouls it off. Costello leading the ICL in batting average at .463, 32 points ahead of the aforementioned Lozano. Chops this one up the middle, and it's going to be trouble for Santolo. Not even close, an infield single. Now, when you got a speedster like Costello, in a 7-0 game, are you still going to run?
You know, I don't think so. I think he could, maybe green light to his discretion, but I don't think it's something that you really
need to do in this situation.
Absolutely not.
As this is floated into left field by Vigers, and it's
down.
It's down. Wow! Spiliotis couldn't make the catch. It looked like a routine fly ball to the left, but Spiliotis couldn't get it.
The ball's carrying a little bit tonight, to be honest, Sam.
Yeah,
that one hop 2 up the fence there.
Carrying a lot for a night game, right?
Yeah.
So an unexpected double for Vigsy.
He took the eye off the ball there, Sam.
I don't know, just looks like a routine fly ball from there.
I was watching you.
Yeah,
I know.
I looked down the score sheet, and oh my God, look, they're on second and third. Here's Roscoe, infield in, and that's down and away for ball 1. Ross 0 for 1 with a walk. Chamberlain comes set, and the pitch, low, ball 2. Another RBI chance for the Blue Sox here. Outside, 3-0. You know, walk isn't the worst thing in the world here because you have the lefty Graham on deck and it would set up a double play possibility.
Right.
But, of course, Graham is one of the most clutch hitters in Blue Sox history. So that's on the outside corner, 3-1. Costello on third, Vigers on second, 1 out. And Ross fouls this one away to make it 3-2. Mike Masuli lasted only the first 1 1/3. Fouled off again. Now Steve Chamberlain getting his second appearance of the season. Has second and third, 1 out. And there's more action behind Chamberlain in the Royals bullpen.
So that's the rule, huh? It has to be 5 appearances for every player to enable for them to make the playoffs or play in the playoffs, excuse me?
To be playoff eligible, yep. Smoke to the left side, through for a base hit. Vigsy is going to be waved around third. It's a 2-run single for Ross Curley, and it is 9-0. Great at-bat by Ross.
Textbook single there in the 6 hole, and just a second and third single. It'll scores them both, you know?
Ross picks up RBIs 9 and 10. You know, the Blue Sox only have 3 batters with now with double-digit RBIs, but the production is just spread out so well. You know, it's not like
a testament to the depth.
It's not just one person that'll beat you here. As low for ball 1 to Dan Graham, who was 0 for 1, struck out swinging to end the first, and was hit by the first pitch of his at bat against Chamberlain in the second. Slider drops in there. 1-1. Good crowd on hand here tonight. Fans lining the left field bleachers and behind home plate. Throw over to first. Ross is back standing.
A lot of off-bug spray applied tonight.
Oh, my God. Tell me about it. Yeah. Todd Bloniars hasn't been here in a while, but he would always bring the citronella candle buckets with us. Yeah.
Smart.
And I think, speaking of which, I think Graham just got a bug in his eye or something. He just called time and just started thumbing at his eye a little bit. This is basically swampland these fields are built on. Good eye there by Graham. Waiting that one out and letting it go down and away. 2-1. 9-0 in the third. Popped up into right field. Chasing after it is Ronke. And it drops. It drops between Ronke and Valdario. Everybody's safe.
Definitely some trouble tonight with those bloopers in shallow outfield. So
a
ball finds grass for the Blue Sox, and Danny Graham reaches the first base.
It's a single for Grammer, and here's Alex Wojtek.
Alex Wojtek reminded him to say hello, Mom, and that he was upset that you missed the last broadcast due to Paul McCartney concert. So we hope you enjoyed the concert, Mrs. Wojtek.
Alex hit a home run, Mrs. Wojtek. Come on. I mean, that's the glory of YouTube. You can watch it again. As that's low for ball one to Alex. Alex, 1 for 1, a single, run scored, and a walk. Both of those coming last inning. I'm going to run out of space on my score sheet.
Oh, yeah.
Slider on the outside corner, 1-1.
Kind of a little frisbee-looking slider there.
Yeah, so it's the break of a slider, but the speed of a changeup.
Yeah, funky.
Ooh. Driven deep to left, back goes Speliotis. It is gone.
3-run jack there for V8. Well, Mrs. Wojtek, you missed the one on Monday. There you have it on Friday. Excuse me, that wasn't Monday night, was it?
That was Monday night, yeah.
Monday night, wow.
Yeah.
Alex Wojtek homer the last 2 games. V8 splash, we like to call him.
12-0 Blue Sox. Alex picks up RBIs 11, 12, and 13, and his 3rd home run of the season.
And that'll make it a dozen for the Blue Sox. Ball is traveling. I really didn't think that was hit that well.
Yeah, I know. For a night game, and it's a little humid too. It's traveling really well. Yeah. It's amazing. Here's Wilsey, upstairs, ball 1.
Tough breaks for these Somerville Royals.
Yeah, they're in the middle of a playoff race, and they're getting shellacked like they are right now. 1-1.
Seems like if they're not out of the zone completely, they're right down the middle.
The Blue Sox, since losing last Wednesday 4-2 to the Chiefs, as that's down and away, 2-1. They are outscoring their opponents 41-6 over the last 23 innings plus. Swing and a miss by Wilsey, and it's 2-2. Wilsey with an RBI double his last time up. Also had an RBI walk. The Blue Sox are 1 run shy of matching their season high for runs in a game, which was also against Somerville, and that was on June 8th at Trum, as that's grounded down the third baseline and foul. That was a 13-1 decision.
Yeah.
Blue Sox have scored double-digit runs 6 times now this season, and this is the 3rd consecutive game they've scored double-digit runs. Scored 11 against Arlington, 10 against Melrose, and now 12 here against Somerville. Swing and a miss at a high one, and down goes Wilsey for out number 2. It'll bring up Taylor Ferguson. Home run in the second, and a walk in the second as well. This is driven deep to left. Does he have another one? Back goes Spiliotis.
Oh, my
God. It is gone.
The bat flip on that one by Ferg was just something else there. I mean, the whole ballpark knew that one was gone.
13-0. Ferg with his second home run of the game.
Taylor Ferguson, 3 home runs the last 2 games here. Kind of a slow start to the 2017 season, arguably, for Ferguson, and now the power's starting to click right when we need it. So, good job, Taylor Ferguson.
Ferg with his third RBI, with his fourth RBI of the night. It's going to bring James McConville out to the mound, and we are going to have another pitching change here from center field at Lexington High in Lexington, Mass. Blue Sox 13. Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Third lefty of the game for the Somerville Royals, and it's Kevin Sinatra to try and stop the bleeding again. First pitch to Justin Silvestro is popped up, but that'll get foul and out of play. And that'll land right next to Jeff Vigers. 0-1. Silvestro is 0 for 2 with 2 flyouts, only member of the Blue Sox not to reach base thus far tonight. So we were talking, we mentioned on Monday night's broadcast that this is the Blue Sox then had their fourth three home run game, and all that had come on the road. This is the first 3 home run game since 2006 that the Blue Sox have had at home, as that's fouled off 0-2. Sinatra is 0-1 in 2 innings of work. He's allowed 7 hits, 5 runs, 2 walks, and 3 strikeouts, and surrendered 1 home run. The 0-2 to Stroh. Low, and it gets away from the catcher Harrington for ball 1. Joe Silvestro in attendance here to cheer on his son. The 1-2. Check swing. It's in the dirt. They'll appeal. He did not go, and it's 2-2. Taylor Ferguson with 2 home runs. Alex Wojtek with a home run. 13-0, and we're only in the 3rd inning. That's low, ball 3. I know we had that 21-run game against then Medford in the postseason a few years ago. Have we had a higher scoring game at all than that since 2006, or at any point? Okay. 18 is the high for the regular season. When was that? Okay. The 3-2 popped up into right field. Back goes Ronke, comes over, makes the catch, and the side has retired 6 more runs, including 2 home runs for the Blue Sox in that bottom of the 3rd. After 3 complete, Blue Sox 13, Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow LSP on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. And be sure to subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Per usual, Drew Lienhout's not taking much time to warm up as we go to the top of the 4th. First time through the order, the Royals were set down in order. Let's see if the second time through will change any of that. Jake Santolo grounded out, 2 Lienhouts leading off the ball game. 13 runs on just 12 hits for the Blue Sox. No errors and 4 men left. Misses inside for ball 1. Zeros across for the Somerville Royals. The 1-0. Catches the inside part of the plate. 1-1. Breaking ball misses upstairs, 2-1. Pop foul over the screen and to the practice field behind the Royals' first base dugout. 2-2. I'm guessing we have lost Rob for the broadcast as that's down low, 3-2. Royals looking to get their first base runner of the ball game here. Full count to Cintillo to be followed by Harrington and Collette. Deep to left, but out in front of it and foul. Ball definitely is jumping tonight, even for a humid evening. This game is past the hour mark. We started at 8:07. It's 9:12. The 3-2 once again from Lienhouts to Cintillo. It's fouled off. Well, Valdario made him throw a few pitches. Johnson made him throw a few pitches. Cintillo will see an 8th pitch here. And it is grounded to the left side, scooped up by Silvestro, fires to first in time for out number 1. I'll bring up the catcher, Sean Harrington, who grounded out to second his first time up. It's been kind of a busy evening for Jake Wellesley at second. He's recorded 4 of the 10 outs for the Blue Sox defense, including that spectacular play on Greg Spiliotis in the third. Popped foul over the screen and onto Worthen Road for strike 1. Oh, we have not lost Rob, apparently.
No, I'm here, folks.
0-1.
Had to get myself a little jacket. I was getting bitten alive back here.
Yeah, I feel, yeah. Well, that's what the off is for.
I didn't apply any of that off, so.
Drops in there for strike 2. I have to wear high socks, like back here because even if I've got the off, biting at my ankles instead, and so 0-2 to Harrington. The pitch, little
Squibber.
looper, and into left field for the first base hit of the game. First base runner, in fact, for the Somerville Royals. And I think in a 13-0 game, I think you're okay with that base hit because now you're not under any pressure to throw a no-hitter or perfecto when you're up 13 and you want to get your pitcher reps, but you also now don't have the pressure of
absolutely
pitching an all-timer.
I mean, he knows. He's done it before. He's actually been okay with being taken out of ball games when he's had a no-hitter going. So he's a team guy. He knows team first. So
yep.
Very mature pitcher in Drew Leanhouse.
You see Chris Law warming up in the bullpen. 1-0 the count to John Collette, who flew out to center to end the first. Check swing. 1-1.
J.C. Collette, Amesbury native. I actually played AAU ball with this guy growing up. And North Shore Spirit, it was called. We were 10 and 11, 12 years old.
1-1 the count. Chopped towards the third base coach's box and foul to make it 1-2. Just looking at the season pitching stats for the teams in the ICL, and one that just made my eyes bulge out of my head is that catches the inside corner for strike 3. Collette can't believe it. And that's actually the first strikeout for Drew tonight.
Get out.
Yeah, that's the first strikeout.
Wow.
Two down, that'll bring up Wagner Gomez. A 13-0 lead on a Friday night. Great birthday present for Rick DeAngelis, huh?
Absolutely. Happy 29th, Coach Rick.
Again. Here's Wagner Gomez, grounded out to short, leading off the second. He nubs this one to short again. Curley has it, fires to first in time.
Great play there by Curley. Didn't seem that there was too much urgency down the baseline from Mr. Gomez, but needless to say, great play by Roscoe. And as you were saying, the stat that makes your eyes bulge out of your head.
Yeah, well, if you look at the Andre Chiefs, as a team, they are striking out 1.26 batters per inning.
Wow.
Yeah, as a team. That's not Frenny alone. That's as a team.
Well, in large part due to who?
Due to Frenny, but he's not alone. Who's the new pitcher for them that just had a gem this week? Desai. Yeah, he had a gem this week against Arlington. 7 innings, 2 hits, 9 strikeouts. Had a 14 strikeout game against the Somerville Royals. So, after 3.5, we're halfway home. It is still the Blue Sox 13 and the Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Go ahead. John Puttress will lead things off here in the bottom of the fourth, to be followed by Jeff Costello and Jeff Vigers, although we hear that there are going to be some substitutions. So the Blue Sox still 5 runs short of their team record for runs in a regular season game, which, like the postseason record for runs in a game, as that's a ball 1-0, was against the Medford Americans. The regular season record was 18 against the Americans in 2011.
Wow. That's the franchise record?
That's the franchise record for regular season runs in a game, but they scored 21 against Medford in the playoffs in 2009, I think. That's low 2-0 to Putty.
How long have you been doing this now, Sam?
I've been with the team consecutively since 2009. I also did some work in 2006. I've been doing the broadcasts all that time. Oh, nice snare in the on-deck circle by Jeff Costello. Thanks. Making plays even when you're not in the field. So Taylor's the third player since 2006 to hit 2 home runs in a game for the Blue Sox. Putty deep to left! Off the base of the wall. Just not enough. Putty on his way to second. Wouldn't that be amazing if Putty hit a home run?
That would have been a sight. Nice double. Again, like I keep saying, the ball just must be traveling tonight, because I swear, some of these balls off the bat, they don't sound like a really heavy crack.
That's probably sounded better than a couple of the home runs tonight, though. So the line turns over for Costello, who is 2 for 3 with a single, a triple, 2 runs scored, an RBI. Taylor Ferguson, by the way, is the third player since 2006 to hit 2 home runs in a game for the Blue Sox, as that's low for ball 1. First since, who was it again?
First since Mike Hart.
First since Mike Hart.
Did it on July 29th, 2015.
As part of his MVP. Those were both his home runs that season, too, in one game, right?
Yeah, it was at Morelli.
Yeah, it was Mike Hart with 2 home runs against at Morelli 2 years ago.
Was July 27th, so they've happened on the 27th,
Mm-hmm.
the 29th, and the 28th. That was Jack Lorendo did his at Western Park.
3-0 the count to Costello. But so Bruce, just tell me, you heard all that, right? So like
crazy.
All the 2 home run games have come basically this week, as that is in there for strike 3 and 1.
The air, you know?
Yeah.
Must be the air. That
So
summer air.
2 years ago, Mike Hart did it at Morelli against the Melrose Americans. What year did Jack do it?
09.
And Jack Lorendo did it at Playstead Park against the Medford Americans.
Who's Jack Lorendo? Is he a
Jack Lorendo's a former Blue Sox, yeah.
Holy Cross product?
Yep.
Sudbury.
Lincoln Sudbury native.
Walk drawn by Costello. First and second, nobody out, and Connor Green will pinch hit for Jeff Vigers in a successful day at the plate for Vigsy. 2 for 3 with a single, a double, 2 runs scored, and an RBI.
Coach DeAngelis walking over to second base to have a conversation with
John Puttress.
John Puttress.
I don't think Putty would be stealing. Would be trying to steal third any time. You rarely see a catcher with that wheels. But you know, I mentioned, you know, look at the league leaders. One of the league leaders in stolen bases is Chris Bosco, who's the catcher for Reading. And Connor fouls that one off for strike 1. Connor, in limited action, 4 for 11 with 4 RBIs. One double in that, 4 hits, as that's low for ball 1. When you're in like blowouts like this, how do you get the team to stay motivated, stay focused, stay with the game?
Well, I think it's a top-down type of mentality. The coach really has to believe in you guys, and you know,
Pop up into
Sure.
center field. This is no gimme. and it is actually caught. It's been no gimme given the plays, the woes they've had earlier. And Sal Frelick is going to grab a bat and hit for Ross Curley.
But, yeah, as I was saying, top-down mentality. It comes from the manager, believing in the guys, knowing that baseball is a funny sport and anything can really happen. And it comes down to the heart of each individual player. I mean, baseball is an individual sport as much as a team sport, so just pass the bat mentality, kind of.
You can't mail in your chances even in a 13-0 ball game. No. Fouled off onto Worthing Road, and strike one to Sal, batting .667. 2 for 3 with a homer and 3 RBIs.
What is the official name of the Lexington High School field? Do you know?
So the baseball field is just center field.
Center field.
Which is why we played John Fogerty's center field to begin the ball game.
Absolutely.
As that's
a classic.
At the knee strike two. I think this is center field 1. That's center field 2.
Maybe it's deep center field.
No softball game going on over there tonight, though. As that's blocked nicely by Harrington. Lost sight of it for a moment, but stays with it. Usually, when there are this many home runs in a ball game, it's the softball games hitting them into our field.
Yeah.
But again, this is the first three home run game by the Blue Sox at center field. Reach for, and was that strike 3? Or was that a foul tip?
Foul tip.
Foul tip, says the home plate umpire. The runners tried to move up, but Sal gets a reprieve after swinging at that breaking ball down and away. Still 1-2. Putras on second. Costello on first. 1 out. Chamberlain comes set, and the pitch low gets away from the catcher Harrington, and now up to second and third go Costello and Putty. Another wild pitch uncorked by Somerville pitching tonight. Sinatra comes set. The pitch. Reached for and fouled away.
Pitcher's name is Frank?
Kevin.
No, not Frank.
No relation.
No relation to Frank Sinatra.
Not that I know.
Unfortunately.
Not that I know of.
I believe I read this week that Mrs. Barbara Sinatra passed away. Frank's wife at 90.
Ball's low, blocked again by Harrington, and it is a full count to Sal. Sal's home run on Sunday was his first with a wooden bat. Didn't hit one in action with the Blue Sox last year. Down and away, ball 4, and the bases are loaded.
And this will bring up number 9, Danny Graham, with 1 out. Bases juiced here.
Hit by a pitch and singled thus far. Doesn't have an RBI yet.
I think last year he joined a little bit later in the season.
Oh, he's been joining later in the season, like the past several years.
Oh, really?
But because his duties with
right.
Lowell High come first, and he did not go around there on the check swing. It's ball 1, but he's his presence is probably
is a present for sure.
His presence is apparent. Like, I think he's, as this is into right field, and this will get down for a base hit. Runners are only going to go station to station, as that hung up a little too long for the other runners to really advance further. Putty scores. Graham picks up the RBI single, and it is 14-0. But I think Graham, he's not going to win most valuable player this year, but like he's one of the most important players to his team in the Intercity League.
Absolutely.
The combination of his production and his veteran leadership and his coaching ability is probably unmatched by any individual player in the league.
Couldn't agree more, Sam.
Ball 1 to Alex Wojcik. 2 for 2 with that home run he hit last time up. He pops this one up on the infield. Infield fly rule, says the home plate umpire. Making the catch is Sintolo, and there are 2 down. Chris Ruocco is going to pinch hit for Jake Wilsey. After Jake goes 1 for 2 with a double, a walk, and a run scored, and an RBI. A couple of RBIs, actually. And Rock swings and misses for strike 1.
Healthy cut there from Rock coming off the bench, so nice and loose here.
Chris batting .229 with 5 RBIs. Swing and a miss, strike 2. And another blowout the Blue Sox had recently, the 9-0 win over Watertown at Victory Field. He and Ross teamed up to make every phenomenal play you could at shortstop that game. That was... it was amazing. Like, Ross makes a couple good plays, gets hit by a pitch, comes out, as that is strike 3 called to Ruocco, and the side is retired, and then Ruocco takes over and just continues the act. So, one more run for the Blue Sox on 2 hits, no errors, and they leave the bases loaded.
That's going to do it for me, Sam.
All right, Rob DeFranco, we'll see you later in the game, but after 4 complete, Blue Sox 14... Royals nothing. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Advertising opportunities are available on Local Sports Productions. Get your company's message on air or on localsportsproductions.com for as little as $25 per ad. Visit localsportsproductions.com/advertising or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. Couple changes for the Blue Sox. We mentioned Green going into left for Vigers and Ruocco into second for Wilsey. Ruocco at second for Wilsey. Frelick at short for Curley, as that is outside for ball 1 to Luke Ronke. Derlin Tejeda's taken over behind the plate, and the new pitcher for the Blue Sox is Chris Law. Law is making his 4th appearance of the season, as this is smoked backhand stab by the third baseman, Silvestro, for the out, 1 down. Caught it on a sinking liner there, hit hard. But it is out number 1. Chris Law making his 4th appearance of the season, 0-1 with a 9.55 ERA in 3 2/3 innings. He's allowed 6 hits, 6 runs, 5 which are earned. Walked 3, no strikeouts, and surrendered 1 home run, as that is in there for strike 1 to the shortstop, Adam Johnson. Johnson is 0-1 with a pop-up to second. Johnson takes strike 2, 0-2. Law, the second pitcher of the game for the Blue Sox, and I have a feeling we're going to see a few more, as that's outside for ball one, as Rob DeFranco left us to get his warm-ups in. Have a feeling we'll see him later. Little looper down the left field line and foul, remains 1-2. Getting ahead of yourself, Bruce.
It's because I have to do foul balls here.
Yeah. Inside-out swing, fouled into the screen, still 1-2. Drew Lienhout's 4 innings, no runs, 1 hit, only 1 strikeout, which is significantly less than what you'd like to have in a shutout game. As that's fouled away, good at bat being put together here by Johnson. He made Lienhout sweat his last time up, so. Check swing, it's in the dirt, and he did not go, says the home plate umpire, so it's 2-2. So Johnson will see an 8th pitch of this at-bat. Here it is. Into left field, down the line, and that will get down. It is a fair ball in front of Green, and holding at first. Now the throw is wild, getting back into the infield, and advancing on the wild throw to second is Johnson. Johnson held it first on that hit. I thought he would have gotten to second anyway if he had kept running. So that'll bring up James McConville, who popped up to second, leading off the third. And time is called by Johnson at second. And a breaking ball hits the outside corner for strike one to McConville. This is outside, 1-1. McConville smokes this one into center field, dropping quickly, and it will get down in front of the center fielder Ferguson, but no advance by the runner at second, Johnson, so it's a single for McConville. McConville was 2 for 3 in the game against the Blue Sox on June 8th, and he picks up his 3rd hit against the Blue Sox this season here. Here's Greg Spiliotis, and he takes strike one. Law hoping to roll a double play ball and end this inning. Keep the Royals off the scoreboard. So that funny thing I was going to mention about the 2 home run games the Blue Sox have hit, as that is outside 1-1. They've all come on. They've come on July 27th, July 28th, and July 29th. Of course, Ferguson tonight on the 28th, Hart on the 29th of 2015. Check swing, low and away. It is ball 2. They will appeal, and it is still ball 2. And then Jack Lorendo hit 2 home runs on July 27th, 2009. Outside, 3-1. I mentioned Law with that 9.55 ERA. All 6 of those runs he's allowed came against Andre on June 19th. Swing and a miss, fastball away, and it's a full count. He last pitched on July 20th against Reading. Pitched 1 inning, allowed no runs or hits, and walked 1. Misses down and away, and the bases are loaded. And that'll bring up Nick Valdario, the 17-year-old, who is, again, the team leader in RBIs for the Somerville Royals. Valdario is 0 for 1 with a ground out to short. Takes on the outside corner, strike 1. Valdario was 0 for 3 with 2 strikeouts against the Blue Sox back on June 8th. And he grounds this one to first, smothered by Wojtek. He'll come home, and the tag is not in time. Wojtek stepped on the bag at first for the force. And in to score is Johnson. The other runners advance to second and third, and it is 14-1. So the lineup turns over for Jake Santolo, who is 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. Royals finally on the board. As that's down and away for ball 1. Law missing way down and away to these right-handed batters, and it's 2-0. Needs to find the strike zone here. The pitch, grounded to the left side, scooped up by Frelick. Hard throw to first! In time with the pick by Wojtek, and the side is retired. The Royals get 1 run on 2 hits and leave 2. After 4.5, Blue Sox 14, Royals 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Sunday afternoon at 3:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Wakefield Merchants. Watch or listen live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on YouTube. Taylor Ferguson in as he takes strike 1. Here in the bottom of the 5th. Does he have a third home run in him? Well, he's got a hard single up the middle anyways. That's a hard hit ball. Take what you can get. He's 3 for 3 with those 2 home runs, a walk, and now a single. That'll bring up Justin Silvestro, who's trying to break into the hit column. 0 for 3 with 3 flyouts. And he pops this one up over the screen and out of play for strike 1. More action behind Sinatra in the Royals bullpen. Down the right field line, but just out in front of that one. And it is 0-2 to Silvestro. Sinatra comes set. The 0-2. into left center field, and that will get down for a base hit. Every Blue Sox starter has a hit tonight as the ball's bobbled in the outfield, but no chance for the runner Ferguson to advance. And that'll bring up Derlin Tejeda. Derlin takes over for Putty, who was 2 for 3 with a single, a double, and 2 runs scored. And Derlin grounds this one to the left side. It's going to be a tough play for Johnson, and he throws it out of play. It's going to be an infield single for Derlin and an E6 that allows the runners to advance. And it is 15-1. So Jeff Costello will get his 5th turn at bat. 15-1 our score. Derlin getting the single there. No RBI, though. Costello. Single and an error there on the play. As this is a little looper into left, and that will be caught on the run by Spiliotis. Tagging from third and scoring is Silvestro, and it is 16-1. So 2 down, runner at second, and Connor Green will step to the plate. And Green takes strike 1 on a 2-seamer. Green is 0 for 1 with a fly out to right. Costello picks up another RBI, his 13th of the season. And this is chopped foul at the dish, 0-2. Blue Sox have scored in every inning except the first, and they've had a base runner in every inning. Costello with the sacrifice fly that plated Silvestro. That's up and in, 1-2. Sal Frelick on deck if we get that far. And he lays this one into center field. It gets down for a base hit, and being held at third is Derlin as the throw comes back to the pitcher's mound. So Connor has a base hit, and that'll bring up Sal Frelick with a run 90 feet away. Sal drew a walk on a tough at-bat his first time up. That's low for ball 1. That's 2-0 the count to Sal. Runners on first and third. And the pitch upstairs, 3-0.
This is tied for the 3rd most runs we've scored in the game.
The 16 runs that the Blue Sox have scored tonight, tied for the 3rd most in Blue Sox history since 2006. Drew Brzezowski is in the on-deck circle. As this is ground to the right side, snagged by the first baseman Collette to second for 1, on to first, not in time. Derlin held at third. So Freilich reaches on a fielder's choice. 3-6. Green is retired. And here's Drew Brzezowski. And Drew has batted this year with the Somerville Senators of the MSBLs. That misses inside for ball one. Drew with the Senators this year is only 1 for 13, but last year he was 12 for 26 with 7 RBIs. Takes inside, ball two. Drew, in his intercity league career, has 1 hit, and that was as a member of the Cassell Club in 2008. As that's on the outside corner to make it 2-1. Last year with the Blue Sox, he had 2 at-bats, 1 walk, and 1 run scored. Takes inside, 3-1, and could he draw another walk here? With Alex Wojtek on deck. Sinatra comes set. And the pitch. Little nubber off the end of the bat. Down the third baseline. Could be a tough play. Sinatra boots it! $17-1. Infield single for Drew Brzezowski. Here's Wojtek. He laces one into left field. In comes Spiliotis. It drops in front of him. Being held at third is Freilich. And the bases are loaded. This is the third time the Blue Sox have sent 9 men to the plate in an inning, and here is Chris Ruaco, struck out looking his first time up. And he swings and fouls this away for strike one. 17-1. Our friend Rob DeFranco warming up in the bullpen. As it's grounded down to third, Gomez will snare it, step on third for the out, and retire the side. Blue Sox get 3 more runs on 5 hits, 1 error, and 3 left. After 5 complete, Blue Sox 17, Royals 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. Want LSP to tape or broadcast your team's games? Rates start at just $50 per game. Video broadcasts also available. Visit localsportsproductions.com/services or email sam@localsportsproductions.com for more information. So the last time the Blue Sox scored 17 runs was back in 2008 against Wakefield. And we have received confirmation that Derlin's hit was in fact a hit and an error. So 3 runs and 6 hits in that inning, not 3 runs, 5 hits, and an error in the bottom of the 5th. Sean Harrington to lead things off for the Somerville Royals, to be followed by John Collette and Wagner Gomez. Harrington 1 for 2 with a ground out to second. And he will face your friend and mine, Rob DeFranco. And Rob fires strike 1 in there, 0-1. Rob is pitching in his 5th game. Well, now he has the 5 appearances. 5 2/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 6 strikeouts. As that's fouled to the left and out of play to make it 0-2. Rob pitched in against the Royals on June 8th. 1 inning, 1 hit, 1 strikeout, no runs. Little grounder to second. Fielding it is Ruaco. Fires on to first. In time, 1 down. Rob's longest outing of the year was on June 22nd against Watertown with 3 innings, allowed 2 hits, no runs, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. Last pitch on July 20th against Reading, 1 inning, 1 hit, 2 strikeouts. Here's John Collette, who's flown out to center and struck out looking. Blue Sox 1 run away, as that is down and away for ball 1. 1 run away from tying their regular season record since 2006 for runs in a game. As that's low, ball 2. And what would that be, Bruce?
Most total bases.
Most total bases in a game by the Blue Sox. What's the exact number?
We are at 34, and the previous mark was 32.
34 total bases for the Blue Sox. Previous mark was 32. Here's a grounder to Frelick. Clutches it against his chest and fires it onto first. Quickly 2 down. So here's Wagner Gomez. He's grounded out to short twice. 1 run, 3 hits, no errors, 3 men left for 1 error and 3 men left for the Royals. 17 runs, 20 hits, no errors, and 10 men left for the Blue Sox. And Gomez pops this one foul to the left and out of play. Still a few runs to go for the overall record for runs in a game, which, as I mentioned before, was set in a playoff game against Medford back in 2009. It was a 21-1 game. We were here for a while. And actually, we were here for even longer than just the game, as this is into center field. I'll tell you, as Ferguson is on the run, makes the catch on the run. Some great defense being played here by the Blue Sox tonight, not just the bats. We go to the bottom of the 6th. We'll tell you more about that Medford game after this break. It is the Blue Sox 17 and the Royals 1, rather. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP.
Unfortunately, the other Sox lost to the Royals.
You can follow Local Sports Productions on the web at www.localsportsproductions.com, facebook.com/localsportsproductions, and on Twitter at LSP37. And be sure to subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel and support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. New pitcher for the Royals is former Lexington Blue Sox Soren Hansen. Soren is making his 6th appearance of the season, 2-0 with 1 save and a 4.12 ERA. In 17 innings, he's allowed 14 hits, 10 runs, all of which are earned, walked 14, and struck out 23. Taylor Ferguson has reached base all 4 times he's been up tonight. 2 home runs, a single, and a walk. He's got his first righty of the night to face, and he takes low ball 1. Ferguson, Silvestro, and Tejeda due up here in the bottom of the 6th, the same 3 that led off the 3-run 5th. Hansen with the slow wind in the pitch, upstairs 2-0. Blue Sox, again, 2nd most runs they've scored in a regular season game. Most total bases, 3 home runs for the 5th time and the first time at Lexington, as this is a strike 2-1. Taylor Ferguson with the third 2 home run game in Blue Sox history since 2006. We'll ground this one to the left side. Gomez has it, fires to first, pulls the first baseman off the bag, but he tagged him for the out. So Ferguson will not reach base 5 out of 5 times. And that'll bring up Justin Silvestro, who got a base hit his last time up and is 1 for 4 with a run scored. Blue Sox are 1 hit shy of the team record for hits in a ball game. Look up that 2009 playoff game. As this is swung on, miss for strike 1. So the thing about that that Blue Sox Americans game. So as it swung on, miss, strike 2. So the game was suspended. It was at Playstead Park. Game 2 of the semifinals was suspended at Playstead, with the Blue Sox leading 3-1 in the 6th, as that drops in there for strike 3. And so that game went over quickly. It's like, okay, 3-1, Americans thinking, okay, we're still in this. Right after that, the Blue Sox had 21 runs and 19 hits in the clincher. Right after that, the completion of that suspended game, that's low for ball 1 to Derlin Tejeda. Blue Sox scored in that game 2 runs in the 1st, 3 in the 3rd, 5 in the 4th, 6 in the 5th, and 5 in the 6th. Blue Sox that day had home runs from Pete Frates and Sean McElroy. And McElroy's was a pinch hit home run at that, so he didn't even start the game. He came in, emptying the bench, and he still crushed one as that swung on and missed by Derlin. 1-2. Drew Brzezowski, who we had beat on an infield single there, pitched 6 innings of 1-run ball. That's down and away, skips to the backstop. Dan Graham scored 5 runs in that game. Pete Frates scored 4 runs. And 11 different players had a hit. 11 different players scored a run, and 8 different players drove in runs for the Blue Sox. So that's the last time the Blue Sox had a game like this that I can remember, that I've seen with the Blue Sox. 17-1 in the bottom of the 6th as a broken back grounder to third. Gomez fields, fires on to first, and they got him on the tag. So that will do it for the bottom of the 6th. The Blue Sox go in order for the first time tonight. We go to the top of the 7th. It's closing time for the Blue Sox. Blue Sox 17, Royals 1. This is Blue Sox baseball on LSP. You can follow the Blue Sox on the web at www.lexingtonbluesox.com, facebook.com/Lexington Blue Sox, and on Twitter and Instagram at BlueSox_ICL. Jeff Blount is the new pitcher for the Blue Sox, and Rob DeFranco's rejoined me at the announce table. Rob, impressive inning there for you.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it.
1, 2, 3 inning, and that gets you your 5 appearances, too.
Yeah, that's playoff eligible.
Yep. Luke Ronke to lead things off. Ronke is 0 for 2 with a ground out and a line out. That's strike 1 fired in by Jeff Blount. Blount is making his 4th appearance of the season, 1-0 in 3 innings. He's allowed no hits or walks and no runs, but also has no strikeouts.
Very uncharacteristic of him. He's usually a power guy. Mr. DeAngelis likes to use at the end of games, as you can see here. Obviously no save situation or any type of parity right now, but it's nice to get Jeff some work, and as you just mentioned, needs to get him playoff eligible. So
last pitch Sunday against Arlington. Misses up and in, 1-2. So we talked about how, speculating on how Lienhoutz approaches the game with such a big lead. How did you approach it as he gets his first strikeout of the season on a slow breaking ball there? How did you approach it on the mound?
Definitely just trying to let my two-seam do the work for me, just trying to get the, not find barrels, but find them minusculely, if that's a word, but induce the ground balls like I normally do, and just kind of attack the guys and let them swing, let the defense do what their job is.
And the defense for their part has made some fantastic plays tonight.
Yeah, absolutely.
I still think you got the 2 bombs by Taylor, but I still love the play that Jake made at second base earlier.
Great play. I thought he caught it at first, but
no, he knocked it down and sprawled and threw him out.
He did, right?
He came.
Yeah, popped back out when he hit the ground. But I would say the one pitch, I don't use my changeup too often. I had an 0-1 count on Wagner there. Tried to throw it, just kind of hung it up there, and he gave it a good ride. But fortunately,
Taylor was there. Yeah, Taylor having a phenomenal game. 0-2 now. The count to Adam Johnson, who has scored what is thus far the Royals' only run, and another off-speed pitch drops in there for a called third strike. And
great looking slider there.
Suddenly, Blount racking up the strikeouts.
Very quick ones too.
2 up, 2 down, and we're going to have Paul Polano pinch hit for James McConville. Polano, I believe, was warming up in the bullpen earlier as well.
Another slider.
Swing and a miss by Polano. Polano is 2 for 9 at the plate this year with 1 RBI.
From the sidearm, I would say I kind of played around with it after I graduated high school, and then I started developing more and more as I went through school, and now it's kind of just mixing it up, having fun, changing my arm angles.
0-2 the count, just down and away, 1-2 to Polano. Blue Sox had a base runner in every inning except the 6th, and they scored a run in every inning except the 1st and 4th. The pitch in the dirt, 2-2. But like we were talking about earlier, you don't want to get too cute
No, absolutely not. I try to get ahead
in this situation. You don't need to get them to go fishing in a 16-run game. Low ball 3. Greg Spiliotis on deck. The payoff pitch. Here it is. Grounder down the first baseline and foul. A little late on that one. Trying to jam with a two-seamer there.
Looked like it, yeah. He was working on his two-seam in the pen, so. He's got a lot of carry on his ball. Good spin. Just almost accelerates as it goes.
Driven deep to left. Back goes the left fielder, Green, and it is off the base of the wall. The Somerville fans thought that was out, and there's another ball that sounded really good off the bat. We had Puttress with the with his ringing double, but Polano.
Not too much wheels there from Capistrano, but he's on second nonetheless. Hit the base of the wall on a bounce. Pretty well-struck ball.
So here's Greg Spiliotis. That's the first extra base hit of the ball game for the Royals. Speaking of Sox and Royals, the Red Sox losing to the Kansas City Royals tonight.
Did you get a score on that one?
Last I saw was
4-2 Royals. I don't know, the Red Sox, as that's on the outside corner once again, the Royals down to their final strike. The Red Sox have been the worst team in baseball since July 5th. Like, worse than the Phillies worse. If that's even possible. 0-2 to Spiliotis, and the pitch. Down and away, 1-2. Spiliotis is 0 for 1 with a walk. The pitch, up and in, 2-2.
Some high cheddar.
So, Blount gets the first two batters on strikes relatively easily. He's ahead of Polano 0-2, gets him to 3-2 and hits a double to left. Now he's 2-2 to Spiliotis. Chopper to the right side. Rocco charging, fires to first.
Nice play
in
there.
time, and the ball game is over. So, in a game that took 2 hours and 4 minutes, and it certainly felt like it was going to take longer than that from the early on, the winning pitcher is Drew Leanhoutz. He improves to 3-0. The losing pitcher is Mike Masuli. He falls to 0-1, no save. The final totals for the Somerville Royals, who fall to 8-12. 1 run, 4 hits, 1 error, and 4 men left. For the Lexington Blue Sox, who improved to 13-5-1. 17 runs, 20 hits, no errors, and 10 men left. Our players of the game, well, everybody, but especially Taylor Ferguson, who goes 3 for 4 with 2 home runs and 4 RBIs. A fantastic offensive outburst by the Blue Sox, who have now outscored their opponents. 1 second. In their last 4 games. 46-7. 46-7 in their last 4 games. So they'll take Saturday off, come back Sunday afternoon to take on the Wakefield Merchants, and hopefully have the possibility to wrap up a playoff spot then. So with that said, this has been a presentation of the Lexington Blue Sox in association with Local Sports Productions, serving Greater Boston's student athletes since 2011. Copyright 2017, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of the Lexington Blue Sox or Local Sports Productions is strictly prohibited. Coverage of Blue Sox baseball on LSP continues Sunday afternoon at 3:55 p.m. when the Blue Sox visit the Wakefield Merchants. Watch or listen live at localsportsproductions.com/live, then stream the game the next day at localsportsproductions.com/on-demand or on the LSP YouTube channel. Be sure to follow LSP On the web, Twitter at LSP37, Facebook Local Sports Production. Subscribe to the LSP YouTube channel. Support LSP on Patreon, patreon.com/LSP37. Once again, the final score from center field at Lexington High School in Lexington, Mass. It is the Lexington Blue Sox 17 and the Somerville Royals 1. My name is Sam Feely. Thanks for tuning in.